the Grand Wizard in the White House has bypassed Congress and said he's going to take $1.8 billion of your taxpayers' money, of ours, and give it to people on January 6th that feel like they were weaponized and wrongly mistreated. Let's look at a few. Andrew Tate of Houston, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison for assaulting law enforcement officers with the bear spray and a metal whip. This man whipped police officers with a metal whip. Found guilty, went to jail, and a rapist pardoned him. Now he can sue the government for become a millionaire. Christoph Quaglin viciously assaulted numerous officers. One of the most violent, 12 years in federal prison. Found guilty of 14 charges, 12 felonies, and 2 misdemeanors. On a dozen occasions, he stood face to face with officers as he screamed at, pushed outstretched arms, punched, swatted, and slapped officers, pushed bike racks into officers, even choked an officer to the ground. He was pardoned. Now he can sue the government and become a millionaire with your tax dollars. David Dempsey, one of the most violent rioters, 20 years in prison. He's been pardoned. Now he can sue the government. Daniel Rodriguez, one of the most disgusting, vile human beings that I saw. Conspiracy, obstruction of an official proceeding, tampering with documents, inflicting bodily injury on officers using a deadly or dangerous weapon. You know what he did? He took a stun gun to the neck of Michael Felons. Michael Felons. He had a fucking heart attack. He was in the hospital. He almost died. He got pardoned by the rapist president. This man can now sue the government and become a millionaire with your tax dollars. Tyler Bradley Dykes, one more. Sentenced to 57 months in federal prison, stealing a police riot shield, and twice beat police officers with it. He pled guilty. He said, yeah, I did it. 2 felony counts of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers. And you know what he was yelling at the rally? Hail Hitler. This isn't even about politics anymore. It's just there is about 36% of this country that has no moral compass, and they really just don't care about right or wrong. As long as you're a white man, you can do anything you want. Anything you want. And get away with it. Remember the outrage from white people, right-wingers, when a black man took a knee just for wanting equality? How did that work out for Colin Kaepernick? Remember when a black man wanted to be treated the same as a white man and was murdered? Remember Martin Luther King? Yeah. Peacefully protested. He was murdered. 1,500 white people predominantly were found guilty of assaulting officers, beating officers, breaking windows, slapping them, stabbing them, causing PTSD. 140 officers went to the hospital. 1 died the following day, and 4 officers committed suicide the following year. And our tax dollars, not only was our money spent on lawyers to go to court, prosecutors, civil defense, research, went to trial, found guilty. Hours, hundreds, thousands of hours. And this white supremacist comes to the White House and goes, nah, I don't think so. We're good. Let him go. Oh, by the way, you look like you white people have suffered. Why don't you sue the government? Here's $1.7 billion. Go ahead, bring the lawsuits and we'll pay you off. Law and order. Law and order. It's truly, it's the moral repugnance. It's the moral rot of white people in this country on the MAGA side. It's just morally despicable. You sane people right around saying I'm pro-life Back the blue, back the blue. And you know what? I had a conversation with somebody a couple weeks ago about this. And I'm like, I find it rich that you go back the blue, back the blue, back the blue, but you voted for a president who pardoned 1,500 people, who literally attacked, beat, and permanently disabled many police officers. Click. Because they don't want to be accountable for the moral rot that they actually stand for, because that is what they stand for. They don't stand for morality. They stand for whiteness. Can you imagine? I want you to think about this for a second. Go back to January 6th. Imagine if that was black people. Just think about it. How do you think that this country would respond to that? Do you think they would be pardoned? Not a chance in hell. What if they were Indian or Afghan or Somalian? Not a chance in hell. Because this is about white supremacy. Because the white man can do no wrong. I saw a video earlier today about some mediocre white man with a small penis going, I wonder, why do you think white kids are so upset? And they're talking about all this stuff and the victim card. You know why young white people are upset? Because they're seeing that their privilege is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. That they see on the horizon that the white man is not going to be in power anymore. That there was a black man in the White House, and it's really scared them. It scared the hell out of them. And they're fighting and fighting and fighting, and they're fighting this fight to maintain whiteness. They're talking about making more white babies to increase the white population. Let's increase the white population and deport the brown people. Right? You want law and order? You voted for this. You want to talk about you just want people here legally? People that have been here for 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Okay, cool. Let's just roll with that just for a second. Let's play it out. So people that have been here for 40 years, never committed a crime. Let's say their documentation is not right. Whoop-de-doo, okay? But you voted for a felon. You voted for a rapist. You voted for a man that pardoned 1,500 convicted felons. You voted for a man that committed tax fraud, who was literally defending child molesters. Why was that okay? What could it be? Oh, he's white. And you all do the same thing with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley, look at the white victim. Because it was an undocumented brown person. But you won't say a damn thing about the white people that attacked police officers, or the white man, three white guys that chased down Ahmaud Arbery, literally chased down a black man because he was jogging down the street. So, the black man must be committing a crime. He must be stealing a TV or running to his gang. So they shot him down. Not one of you Republicans, pro-life Christians, my ass, passed a bill for him. Not a one of you. And even when George Floyd was murdered by a white man, because, that's very on brand with America, you don't even talk about George Floyd. Instead, what you do is, the summer of love, everything's on fire. Well, maybe, just maybe, if you would focus on the root problem, the fact that a white man could actually treat a black person that way and have even a fraction of a percentage that he might be found guilty, that's the actual problem. Because if that officer wouldn't have murdered George Floyd, there would have never been the summer of love. But you need to be the white victim. And you did the same shit with Charlie Kirk, that racist piece of shit. May he rot in hell with Jeffrey Epstein. The roaming blacks. Oh, is the pilot qualified if they're black? Or he's insulting a black lesbian customer service person. Oh, Justice Jackson must be an affirmative action hire. Ooh, the great white replacement theory. That's your guy. The victim of a school shooting. But somehow, because he was a white man, you guys lose your minds. You put him on Air Force Two. You hold a Nazi rally. You name streets after him and holidays after him and underwear after him and condoms after him. And you treat him like he's a deity because he stood for the white patriarchy, y'all. You're not going to vote your way out of this. You're not. If a black man did 10% of this, people on the right would be losing their minds. White people would be going insane. They would be asking him for impeachment. Literally, the man has started a war. He's bombed a school, murdered 170 people. He's spending $1 billion for a bunker just like Hitler because he doesn't plan to leave. He's going to put armed agents at voting booths. He's literally going around spending millions of dollars fighting dissent, taking away FCC licenses from people. And you're like, yeah, own the libs. Because he's a white man. And that's very on brand. That's the most American thing, right? The white man can do no wrong. It's disgusting that I have to give my tax dollars to a person that literally gave Michael Fedone a heart attack and almost killed him. It's sick. And you know what's the really sad part is? That for a year and a half I pushed a general strike, and you know what I heard from white people? The same bullshit. I can't afford to. I can't afford to. I won't. I can't. I won't. I can't. Because you're not willing to sacrifice your personal comfort for anybody else. Black people don't have that luxury. Somalians don't have that luxury. Transgender people don't have that luxury. Gay people don't have that luxury. Our immigrant friends, Latinos, Mexicans, they don't have that luxury. And white people are once again going back into their privilege. I need money. I need money. I need money. You don't understand, Paul. I'm poor. I grew up poor. Okay, I was so poor I couldn't pay attention. I was broke. I lived at thrift shops. I grew up poor. I didn't even fly until I was like 20. Okay, stop the shit. You don't know where I've been. But you're going to let this entire country burn to the ground because you don't want to stand up for somebody else other than yourself. And I'll leave you with the quote that I'm always going to leave you with. First, they came for the immigrants, but I wasn't an immigrant, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for the Somalians, but that wasn't me, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for the black people. Oh shit, they've done that since 1619. Then they came for the transgenders in sports. And then they came for the Islamic temples, and on and on and on. And I sat by and said, it doesn't affect me. I can't go on a general strike because I need money. What do you think's gonna happen when we go into a recession and depression? Who's gonna help you? Who are you gonna look to? Blame yourself for your selfishness and your lack of being willing to be uncomfortable. That's the only way this is going to change because both political parties suck. Neither one of them has a solution. The Democrats are sitting by watching this happen saying, give me $10, vote for me in the midterms, but I'm not going to impeach him. Oh no, I'm going to keep voting with Trump. I'm going to still kiss his ass. I'm still going to make money from Israel, but you have to vote for me because I'm the lesser of two evils. The only way this changes is when white people are willing to be uncomfortable. Have a white day.